What the heck are zero drop shoes? Hi, I'm Ralph and welcome to my running adventures. Today we're going to talk about the Altra Escalante 2, a zero drop shoe. What is zero drop shoe? If you're a runner or thinking about being a runner, you know that most running shoes have something called heel drop, sometimes called offset. I always felt that heel drop is a misnomer, but what it is, it's the distance the toes drop from the heel in the shoe. Said another way, the heel sits above the toes in most running shoes. Usually it's measured in millimeters, and typical running shoes vary between 8 to 10 millimeters is very common. So what that means is that if it's 10 millimeters, your heel sits about 10 millimeters higher than your toes in the shoe. The idea was 50 years ago when they started doing this was to give the heel more cushion, prevent injuries, especially with people who run with more of a heel strike. Now, there are some schools of thought that think that that elevated heel can cause injuries, especially in the knees and the hips. So there's a study done a few years ago where they took 3 groups of runners. They each had different heel drops in their shoes, 0, 6, and 10. And they studied them over 6 months and measured the injury rates. They found that in all groups, the running injury rate was about 25%. So the heel drop amount doesn't really change the injury rate, but it does impact the type of injury. The higher the heel drop, the more the injury is in the upper part of the leg. For example, if you have a high heel drop, you might be more prone to injuries in your knees and hips. If you have a low heel drop, you may be more prone to injuries in your ankles or your Achilles tendon. Now, the first thing you notice when you put on a pair of zero drop shoes is you're going to feel more stretch in your calves. To me, that's a good thing because I like stretching my calves. It helps with my plantar fasciitis, and I think that is a positive for me. So if you have tight calves and suffer from tight calves, you might want to take it easy when you start wearing zero drop shoes, especially if you experience some initial soreness. To me, I've had no issue. I've probably got 15, 20 miles on these shoes so far, and I've had no leg issues at all. So I decided to try zero drop shoes and picked out a pair of these Altra Escalante 2s. A couple of things to point out about the Altra Escalante 2 is it does have a canvas cover. It's got very long shoestrings, which are kind of nice. If you want to do the heel lock when you cinch them up and tie them up, there's plenty of shoestrings to do that. The other thing with the Altra shoes is a very wide toe box, as you can see. It allows your toes to splay out when you run. That's really great for injury prevention and prevents toe injuries and some foot injuries. I also find these shoes are very stable. I like stability, especially my age as I run. I find these very stable to run in. Plenty of cushion. Now I use orthotic inserts in my shoes, which give me a little more cushion, but I have found these to be very comfortable to run in and just a joy to wear. So let me show you what it's like to run in these. So before we get into running, I really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe icon down in the bottom corner, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified when I post a new video. So let's go for a run. So the first thing you notice when you run in zero drop shoes is the stretch of the calves and the Achilles tendon. So you want to be mindful of that. You might want to think about, oh, maybe I'll just give these a slow pace for a while. Maybe just do a few miles at a time till you build up and get used to that stretch. These are extremely comfortable shoes to run in. The wide toe box just gives a lot of freedom for your toes. They can splay out and move around. Just makes for a very enjoyable running experience. So give them a try, especially if you suffer from knee or hip injuries, suffer a little pain in those areas. You might find zero drop a help. And I do recommend the Altra Escalante 2s. They're a very comfortable shoe. They look nice and feel great. So if you enjoyed my video, enjoyed learning about zero drop shoes and Altra Escalante 2s, leave me a comment below. Hey, thanks again for watching.